Chilling,
Yeah.
cleaning my room up a little bit before I start.
Cleaning your room.
Yeah, I just got home not
Yeah,
too long ago.
no doubt.
How you been?
Chilling.
Shit, shit. I didn't even know the Golden Globes was on tonight.
Huh?
I didn't know the Golden Globes was on tonight.
Yeah, I ain't watching it.
Yeah, they said Jared Carmichael sucked as a host,
Probably.
but a lot of black actors and actresses got some awards. So whoop whoop.
Yeah, that's dope. Don't give it
I
to
know.
us out of sympathy now. Give it to us because we deserve it.
Yeah, I know Eddie Murphy got honored. Abbott Elementary got a few awards too.
Right.
Fucking Elder Barge getting arrested and shit.
What's his problem? We still doing that bullshit?
God
He's too
knows.
old to be still getting into trouble, yo. Come on, L. This nigga like 60 years old.
I'm just like, why?
The whole family is fucked up. The
You said
whole
what?
family, the whole family is fucked up.
Shit.
The whole family is fucked up.
They said it was weapons and drug charges. Oof, in Burbank.
Wow, wow.
Then Mariah Carey
Right?
wants custody. You said
That's
what?
good. Mariah Carey wants custody of what? The kids?
For kids from Nick Cannon.
To cancel Nick Cannon?
You said what?
What she say? I don't understand.
She wants custody of her kids with Nick Cannon.
For what?
Shit, I guess she don't like his lifestyle. Shit.
Yeah, that's still a baby father though. She ain't gotta like it.
Eh, I don't blame Mariah, honestly. Huh.
What you have to be he has to be a bad parent for her to want custody. Is he mistreating his kids?
Possibly. You never know.
Really? That's crazy. Mariah, you doing too much, yo.
I'm gonna use the bathroom right quick.
Mike, what's good, yo? What is this? Bullshit, bro.
Okay. What's going on in the chat?
Not a damn thing.
I had to curse out some Hispanics today.
Oh boy, what they do?
You said what?
What they do?
Man, they fucking cutting down trees early in the morning. Couldn't even go to fucking sleep. Then they trying to not clean up my driveway and shit like that. To fuss at their asses.
They cutting down trees?
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the fucking morning, man.
Wow, it's crazy. They was trying to get some sleep.
Right, nigga. Ain't nobody got time for this bullshit.
You know, it's crazy.
Orlando Brown is just a lost cause, Christian. I'm not gonna hold you.
Mike, the best thing for him is to get swept away in the storm, so you can stop asking stupid questions when he come on here. I would love that.
You said what?
That would be the best thing for that to happen. Just get swept away in the storm.
Shit. But hope that shit's safe, Q. Thank God this album's not too long.
Oh man,
'Cause I had a long fucking day. What up, Cruz? Nigga.
it's funny for me.
You gonna see that movie Megan yet?
Nah, I ain't going to see it. I'm gonna watch it on streaming. They're
Gotcha.
already doing a part two because it made a lot of money.
Yeah. I didn't know the lady who made it was black.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Picture that, a killer doll, but made by a black woman. That's new.
She about to be the female Jordan Peele and shit.
Yeah.
You said Megan was good, Mike? Bad.
Wow. Okay.
Jesus.
You got coconut rum cream. What the hell is that?
I thought that was a liquor or some alcohol shit.
Coconut rum cream? I never heard of that. That must be a liquor or something. I don't drink Christian, so I couldn't tell you.
All I heard was rum.
And of course that's all you heard. You drink bastard. Did you drink today?
Surprisingly, no.
No, you what? Not even you didn't even smoke up?
You said what?
You didn't even smoke an L?
Oh, I smoked. I didn't drink. I was busy as fuck today.
Well, there's always later. The night is still young.
Oh, he says a female's child's play. Oh, that's funny.
That's what they were comparing it to, Child's Play.
Oh, wow.
So at some point, are they gonna like have a crossover with Chucky and Megan? You know,
You
for
never know.
Chucky to do a threesome with Megan and Tiffany. You know that's gonna happen. At some point, they got a crossover.
They always do.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the news? Lil Wayne's daughter says stop comparing rappers to Lil Wayne.
Rappers like who? Who sounds like Weezy?
Cause you know how people lately been saying no one had a run like Weezy did and such and such.
And that's facts. He did. Nobody had a run like him.
You know these people want to say anything just for fame. Who's ready for the Grammys and the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl. Let's go. Giants all the way.
I swear, you and Lachey, man, y'all be arguing about them Giants like yesterday and shit. I was
Damn
dying.
right. You goddamn right. That's my team. I got to rep. You swing the roof for. Gotta represent my team.
I'm gonna start about 8 minutes.
Ben Wilson, I never heard
Ready
of
and
him.
How you doing? Like, how's your family?
They good, man. They chilling. How's your family doing?
Likewise,
That's what's up.
everyone's feeling pretty good.
New year.
Smokey Robinson gonna be on Black TV and shit.
Is he? Talking about what?
Yeah,
I
his
hope, I
life.
hope he don't answer no stupid questions. You know,
Well, I'm kind of glad he's on Vlad and Drink Champs because if he was on Drink Champs, Minori wouldn't let him fucking talk.
Vlad is nosy though. Vlad gonna try to start some controversy with some shit on over there at Motown. How many chicks was you boning in Motown, Smokey?
Chill.
Did you and Diana have a thing? You know what I'm saying? He could ask him some kind of stupidness. I already know.
No, knowing Vlad, he'll probably have some respect.
You would hope, right? Smokey Robinson on Vlad TV. That don't even sound right. What Oprah wasn't available?
I mean, yeah, people like Marla Gibbs, John Amos.
Wow. Did he ask them stupid shit too?
If I'm not mistaken, Vlad didn't interview them. I think it was Linnell.
No.
But I think Vlad interviewed Smokey because they took a picture with one another on his YouTube channel. But I'm here for it. Shit. Let's put some respect on these legends. It can't always be
Well,
fucking
man,
Life Jennings and fucking DL Hughley and shit. I'm tired of them niggas.
Life Jennings.
I'm like, ugh. You said what?
Life Jennings.
Yeah, like he always has DL Hughley, Ari Spears, man. I'm tired of them niggas, man.
Oh, yeah.
You said you seen on Michael on Broadway? Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that in the spring. Michael on Broadway. That looks good.
Broadway. Listening to Michael McDonald, okay.
Philip was good.
What up, Phil? Phil at the future, what's up? Nigga almost got mad at me today and shit.
Oh,
My co-worker's boyfriend for the stupidest shit.
what?
Homegirl asked me for help. He going to use his girl Instagram talk about why you texting my girl and shit.
Wow.
She was just asking me for fucking help, man. Then he gonna be like, oh, we good. I'm like, well, fuck you, nigga. Crazy ass nigga, insecure ass motherfucker.
Oh, man. Well, that's nice of you, Kristen. I'm glad you could come on here and vent your anger to people I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Who's he talking about? Nina's cousin
You
and
talking about
versus
the nigga that had that fight with Kane and Minister Society?
uh you
The
have
actor with
hatred
that
and
weird
you
ass
have
walk.
hatred and grudge for him for what? What he do?
Well, who do?
What he said you have a hatred and grudge for him. Like you have a hatred and grudge for the character or the actual person?
Probably the character.
Young Joe's still alive? He's even around?
Shoulder lean.
God. Why are these people
Vlad
like
just interviewed all the one hit
he just
wonders. Young
interviewing
Jock.
anybody? Like who? Young Joe. I wouldn't even interview Young Joe.
Nigga, young Jock keeps coming up in Vlad and shit.
You have a
I'm
hatred
telling
for
you,
what do you do the actual person do to you? You know the nigga?
ever since Lord Jamar left Vlad TV, this nigga's been scrambling for guests and shit. D.L. Hughley became his next
Yeah.
motherfucking puppet
Yeah.
and shit.
You don't know who to interview. It's like let's interview Young Jock next. Or Young Berg and these irrelevant ass niggas.
Bobby Valentino.
Right? Irrelevant ass people. Gorilla
Well, I'm ready to
Bob.
start.
Let's interview him.
I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Let's go.
What's up? What's up? What's up, you two? How's everyone doing? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
Yo.
We're gonna talk about Zapp with their first album, self-titled or Zapp One, whatever you want to call it. This album came out July 30th, 1980 on Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? It was produced by both Roger Troutman and Bootsy Collins. I'm gonna explain more about that in a minute. It came out with two singles, More Bounce to the Ounce and Be Alright. Um, Zapp consists of Roger Troutman, Larry Troutman, Lester Troutman, Terry Troutman, Carl Coleman on sax, Greg Jackson. You have some female vocalists, Janetta Boyce, Marshall Smith, Dolores Smith, Bobby Glover. Um, yeah, and of course Bootsy Collins. He did some guitar work on here too. All right, now I pretty much talked about Zapp before, but in the beef episode between Roger Troutman and George Clinton, y'all can check that episode out on my channel and stuff like that. But I want to ask Try how he got into Zapp.
My mom got me into Zapp. Just started playing those funk records, back in the day. I want to be a man and computer love and more bounce. So rough, so tough. Like all of those joints, like she was playing, and that was like him was like the first one I seen use the talk box, or what they call auto tune now. So that was him. He was the first one I seen to use that. Before Teddy Riley, before Devontae Swing, before anybody else, before T-Pain and Kanye, was Roger for me.
Right,
And he was just dope. You know what I'm saying? It was just like funky dance records, and he just put you in the mood. You know what I mean? And so many people, over the years, especially for hip hop, just sample those songs. You
right,
know what I'm saying? EPMD and Big Daddy Kane, H Town, mad artists. You know what I'm saying? Especially the West Coast artists, and you know if you listen to any of those artists, you're gonna know a Zapp record. You know what I'm saying? Because they were just a lot of those samples, a lot of those songs were like sampled heavily and overused, and even R&B and shit. And he's definitely a legend, and it was good to see him on a Tupac album with a California Love, and he killed it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you had anybody that had the feature on that would be featured on there, it would have to be him. I think Dr. Dre had the right idea by putting him on there. He killed it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he got to get his flowers. I don't think he for all the samples and stuff that these artists use, I don't think they give him his flowers enough. You know what I'm saying? And T Pain ain't start you. T Pain ain't like invent that shit. That was Roger. If it wasn't for Roger, it wouldn't be no damn T Pain and shit. And you gotta give this man his respect.
yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Speaking of that, I actually got my talk box in the mail today and stuff too.
Oh
So,
yeah, you gonna use it?
oh yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna show it just
You're
yet.
not.
I
You're not
gotta
gonna.
learn how
You're
to
not, I
switch
thought
it.
you would use it for this review. You're not gonna use it so you can hear you.
No, 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 not for the review. Hell no. It's gonna be for my music and shit.
Like, oh, let's hear what Red
No.
sound in a different voice and shit.
Yeah. Yes, yes. I got into Zapp. I just heard the songs on the radio. I want
Mhm.
to say the first song I remember hearing was "Do What Diddy Do What Do." That's my shit though. That was from the Zapp 2 album, which we're going to talk about that most likely after my break and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I feel like they were the most creative funk band of the decade, in my personal opinion. Like, because people want to say that Parliament and Funkadelic kind of went downhill by the early '80s.
Mhm.
People need to remember that Bootsy Collins put Zapp on. Zapp was technically under the whole P Funk empire and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna explain a little bit more about that in a minute. But yeah, man, Roger Troutman, I feel like he should be talking the same level as like cats like Prince, Rick James. In my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying? The talk box alone, I mean, no, he was not the first one to use the talk box. That Stevie Wonder used it as early as like 72 and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? Peter Frampton, of course, used that shit too, you know what I'm saying? But Roger made that shit his own, if that makes sense, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I definitely feel like, nice instrumentation from like the Troutman brothers, you know what I'm saying? Most notably Larry and Lester. It's a damn shame, honestly, what happened to them, when the tragic ending and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah.
yeah, y'all should fucking know about that stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? We here to celebrate the music and stuff like that too. I was actually planning on possibly doing a double between the first Zapp album and Roger Troutman's first solo album, but at the same
Mhm.
time, I'm probably gonna do a separate review for each of the Zapp albums. 'Cause I feel like each album deserves to be talked about in its length. So
Mhm.
yeah, let's get this shit started. Now, like I said before, I already talked about who Zapp are, but I'm just gonna give you like a quick rundown and shit too. You know what I'm saying? Zapp or Zapp and Roger were like a funk group from Dayton, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? The original lineup includes Roger Troutman, Larry Troutman, Lester Troutman, Terry Troutman, Gregory Jackson, and Bobby Glover. You know what I'm saying? That's the original core members of the group. You know what I'm saying? They were originally known as had a couple of band names over the years and stuff like that. Like by the '60s, they were known as Lil Roger and like the Fabulous Jets. But when they actually formed in fruition, they were named as Roger and the Machine and stuff. Oh, excuse me, Roger and the Human Body. And it was actually Terry that named the group Zapp because Zapp was actually his nickname. So Zapp Roger Troutman and Larry Troutman were very, 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 very cool with Catfish Collins and Bootsy Collins, of course, you know what I'm saying? Who of course at that time were already in Parliament and Funkadelic and stuff like that too. Bootsy Collins, of course, having time, playing for James Brown and stuff like that too. And Bootsy was so impressed with Zapp's musical abilities, he wanted them to talk to George Clinton. You know what I'm saying? At that time, George Clinton, Parliament Funkadelic were on top of the game and whatnot too by the mid to late '70s. Do I even have to name the classic albums like Mothership Connection, One Nation Under a Groove? Um, what's that album? What's the album? Let's take it to the stage. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Jim wants you, and so on, and stuff like that too. So by the time 1978 happened, Roger Troutman did a demo for what would be known as Mo Bounce to the Ounce. And George Clinton loved the demo that he pretty much wanted them to present the demo to Warner Brothers Records and stuff too, you know what I'm saying? And Warner Brothers signed Zapp in early 1979 and shit like that too. And then George Clinton, he pretty much molded them and whatnot too, you know what I'm saying? But there was some controversy. I'm just gonna give like a quick synopsis and stuff too. But by that time, George Clinton was going through some financial issues, and a lot of members from the Parliament Funkadelic left in the early '80s. Of course, certain members formed like original members like formed their own Funkadelic, and they dropped an album in 1981 and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? I want to say it was like I think it's called Who's a Funkadelic, something like that. We talked about that in the P Funk breakdown and shit too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Roger Troutman pretty much like signed continued wanted to stay on Warner Brothers Records and stuff too, which caused kind of like a little beef between or falling out, as I should say, between George Clinton and Roger Troutman and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? And this is pretty much like the only album where you had some P Funk imprints on a Zapp album and stuff like that too. And if you guys are more interested in this story, like I said before, check out the Why the Beef episode on my channel and stuff like that too. Very, very interesting story and stuff like that too. I'm actually very proud of that episode, as I should say. But back to this album. So this album came out in 1980. This is the album cover right here. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope. I love the contrast of colors here and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of something like a comic book and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't even open this album yet. And shit. Let me open it right now. And just to let y'all know, this is actually a reissue. The music on vinyl reissue and whatever and stuff like that. Um, I don't know exactly what year this. I gotta look it up on Discogs, and I'll let y'all know in the comments. But it just came out with this vinyl. Don't come out with no booklet, no lyrics, or no nothing and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So go figure on that shit. You know. Um, yeah, man. 6 songs, not a long album and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this shit started. Track number one, More Bounce to the Ounce. That might be probably the most, when it comes to the G Funk culture, that might be not probably the most influential song there. I consider it next to Computer Love their signature song too, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? This was a very, very, very dope track. The song was very original when it came out. It definitely had a more electro synth sound when it came to funk and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you hear that talk box, you know, with Roger saying more bounce to the ounce. I mean,
Right.
it was over at that point. You know what I'm saying? Interesting things about the song. The phrase "more bounce to the ounce" actually came from a Pepsi ad that ran in the '50s and stuff like that too.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and pretty much this song also influenced another influential song when it comes to hip hop sampling, and you guys would never guess. Tom Tom Club, Genius of Love.
Wow.
The did it, that song, which y'all should know Mariah Carey used that famously for the Fantasy remix with Old Dirty Bastard and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Very, very dope track in my opinion. Yeah, this track right here is definitely an iconic song and stuff like that too. Oh, by the way, the reissue came out last year. Just letting y'all know, it's a very iconic song. It has been sampled in like a lot of hip hop tracks. It's been played in fucking movies. You know what I'm saying? Most notably, Boys in the Hood and stuff like that. And speaking of Boys in the Hood, you know, Ice Cube he did an interview and he was talking about how that song actually got him into hip hop music and stuff like that too. You know,
Right.
because the song the song definitely had a following when it came to like the West Coast and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
you know the early West Coast hip hop was more had that more electro, electro kind of funk and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Most notably, like you had the world class wrecking crew, which was Dr. Dre and DJ Yella's old group, and of course
The
you had like
classic.
the yeah, of course you had like the Egyptian Lover, you know what I'm saying? Arabian Prince and stuff like that too. So just naming a few and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So this is
Mhm.
a very classic song.
Classic record. I think the West Coast artists made it. Made it a classic record. Like, well, not made it a classic record, but you know, they made it aware for hip hop fans, and the beat is fire, the bass line, the hi hats. Yes, this is like there's only two songs I really like on this whole album, so this is one of them.
Only 2 songs really.
Yeah, as far as like that stood out to me, like everything else was cool, but there's only like two really standout songs on here.
Understandable. I'm not gonna hold you. I kind of prefer the first half to the
Right.
second half, but I'm gonna talk more about that to be real with
Yeah.
you. Um Track number two, Freedom. This is a nice little soulful R&B kind of vibe and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not among the most funkiest of the albums, stuff like that too. But I definitely feel like it definitely utilized the band a lot more and stuff too. So I can vibe with it.
It set a nice beat to it. It was cool.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Track number three, Brand New Player. This is actually my favorite track off this album. You know what I'm saying? And possibly, in my personal opinion, most underrated Zapp song ever. Yeah, man. With this track right here, you know what I'm saying? It's just pretty much, it's pretty much, a track where it's like, how one is like, it's like a double entendre, if that makes sense. He's
Man,
talking about how one's a playing with the ladies and stuff like that, but at the same time, he's all about the music and stuff too, you know what I'm saying? Out of all the songs, out of all the songs on this album, this one is, in my opinion, the most P-Funk out of everything and stuff like that too, because I can definitely see like the Bootsy's Rubber Band doing a song like this, you know what I'm saying? Especially when the female vocals hit the chorus, you know what I'm saying? That player, he's a
that's
player, da 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 player, brand new player. I mean,
fire.
that's like my favorite part of the whole fucking song. Like the way how those
Uh-huh.
females were harmonizing, it definitely gave me vibes up. It reminds me of the Bootsy's Rubber Band song, Love
Mhm.
Vibes from the first album, which that's another very dope album we have to talk about, and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? So this is a very classic joint.
Yeah, this is a dope track, a dope beat. The guitar playing, the bass line. You got the guy singing. I can't help it if your builds are all due. If your honey's playing around, it ain't nothing I can do. Loved it.
Oof.
This was a dope track. I like this one.
Making my music that nobody can stand. That I
Right,
mean, oh my god. And you know what's crazy? It wasn't that much talk box on that fucking track. It was just natural
right.
singing on that shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So interesting. Speaking of Zab, we should also talk about Shirley Murdoch's album too.
yeah.
One day, because I have literally all the Zap albums with Troutman except for the fourth Zap album, which Computer Love and stuff like that. Surprisingly,
Right.
um, track number four, Funky Bounce. This one was okay. You know what I'm saying? Not bad, but just kind of. It's kind of like trying to do more bounce. It's kind of like more bounce to the ounce part two, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, Funky Bounce was cool. It was an okay track.
Right. Track number five, Be All Right. This is
It's my
probably
joint.
another one of their famous. You said what?
It's my joint right here.
Yeah, this one is another famous joint that's been sampled a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's been sampled by many people from H Town, Tupac, Yo Yo, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody like that. You know what I'm saying?
Game.
Game.
Big Daddy Kane. He used it for the Prince of Darkness.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of wanting to forget that one. I never liked that
Uh,
song, but
I see. I think that's one of his stronger albums, though.
yeah, the album is good, but that song I never cared
Yeah,
for.
the singles I don't like. He picked the wrong singles.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm just like, if you would have dropped like a couple of singles, like maybe like
Get
ooh,
busy.
ah,
Yeah,
nah, nah,
yeah,
nah, 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 nah. That
yeah.
that should have been the lead single. Fuck that.
Right.
That should have been the fucking lead single,
Yeah,
in
he
my
picked the
opinion. And
wrong.
then,
That groove with it, I don't like that. Never like that song.
oh my
I
god.
always skip that shit. Never like that song.
But you know what I can say about Prince of Darkness?
Mm.
The R&B songs was better than Taste of Chocolate.
I don't know. That's debatable because I didn't. I don't like it when he did that shit either. Like those R&B songs. Yeah, that wasn't his thing. When he did very special is on a solid album. That song looks like a job for, and I never liked that
Right,
song. I always skip the R&B tracks. I'm like, Kane, please stop it, man. Like this is what happened to his career. Like when he tried to get on radio, he fell off. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Loving You. That's another song I don't care for. I don't care for those
The
love songs.
remix, the
He's
Mr.
not
C
Drake.
remix.
Like Drake could do that shit. Kane is not Drake.
Yo, check out the Mr. C remix with the loose end sample. That's way better.
That version was better, but he didn't come out with that at first. He came out with the regular drink, the Prince sample.
They they fucked that shit up, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, but back to Be All Right. This is one of their famous ballads and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I love the usage of the guitar and the synth. And I didn't dun dun dun. I love how futuristic this song can be and stuff like that too. You know what
right.
I'm saying? This is a very, 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 very unique song. I like it.
Love it. classic record. It's been sampled by everybody. I think if you're an artist, you have to have used this song for a sample at some point or sang on it. You know what I mean? The beat is dope. The bass line is smooth. Five of my classic.
Definitely. And our last track, Coming Home. Um, my least favorite track off this album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Again, not a bad track, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the instrumentation was unique. That's what really made the song, in my personal opinion.
It was cool. It was cool.
Definitely. All right. My personal opinion on this album, this is actually a classic album, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Very influential album. I feel like if you are into G Funk, you should have this album in your collection. Next to Parliament's Mothership Connection. I love how it was like a fresh sound when it came to this album and stuff like that too, you know. Very unique usage of like instruments like the synthesizers and bass lines and stuff too. You know what I'm saying? What's up, vibes? You know, I feel like with this album,
Yo,
this actually this is actually maybe my second favorite album. I've always said my first favorite album was That Vibe and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which that might be a surprise to some people because a lot of people would say Zap for You might be their best one with Computer Love and all that shit. But I'm gonna save my thoughts on that when I get to that part. You know what I'm saying? But this album to me is a 4.5 out of 5. It's a
shout
classic
out to
album.
Uncle Freezy. Uncle Freezy, shout out to you, Vibes and Stuff. Check out his YouTube channels, Vibes and Stuff, and Nick and Night. Salute to my New York Knicks. Thanks for showing up, Uncle Freezy. Appreciate you. Happy New Year. I love
Oh,
there's
he's
two
down
songs
with
that
you.
I love on here. I love Be Alright, because that's a classic record. Everybody should know that song from Zapp. I love More Bounce to the Ounce and Brand New Player. The other songs were like filler. But then you have like two iconic, funk records on this album. And I think those were the best on the album. So just stick with those.
And you know what? I respect that opinion and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I feel like when it comes to like other albums like Zap 2,
Mm.
I think like they try to have like a good balance with like making hit records but still making like danceable tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Because
I mean they all funky in their own right, but it's like some are more iconic than others. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, and I feel like their songwriting in albums to come, they had a bit more to say and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? That vibes, you're right. Ohio
Yeah.
funk is the fucking truth.
Listen,
Yes.
listen to this man. He's a old school head like us. He knows what he's talking about. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
we should invite him on here and shit, man.
Hey, and anytime I know he's a busy man. Anytime you free, you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, because when it comes to me, man, I'm a hip hop head, but when it comes to funk music, man, that's
Yeah.
that's try, man.
Yes, we did a whole discography breakdown on Cool in the Gang. Every Cool in the Gang albums from the
I
ones
say
like the
funk, you
70s to
mentioned.
like 85.
I knew you
Huh?
were gonna mention Cool in the Gang. I
we
you
did the
as soon as
Commodores
you said
also. We
funk,
we just we talked about the Commodore stuff. Yeah. He know.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, Vi, I'm not the biggest Cool in the Gang guy. Well, early Cool in the Gang, but
Oh man.
before JT. But that's just watch the breakdown. I'm just gonna say that.
Oh man.
All right, now
Mm-hmm.
got a bit 10th anniversary surprises. We're gonna do like a little countdown. Top 5 songs that's better live than the studio. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So this is gonna be a
How
very
we how
interesting
we how
list.
we doing this? Is it gonna be is it gonna be like can we include like songs that we seen live? Because that's what I did. To have like
Yeah,
like
it can be.
songs that I've seen from the artist live because they sound better live than acting on the actual tape.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you
Um, just letting y'all know, in my list, I didn't put any hip hop on my list. I might do a separate one for hip hop. I don't know yet, but that might be let me see how this list goes first and stuff like that too. But some songs right here, yeah, it's gonna be a surprise. That's all I mean to
Okay.
say. My number five, Fleetwood Mac Dreams.
Oh wow. You like that better
Yes,
live?
yes.
Oh
I mean,
wow.
I love this. That's actually my favorite Fleetwood Mac song.
Same.
I love the studio version, but there's a lot live performance wise. I feel like emotions, like the emotions, from Stevie Nicks singing and stuff like that was always
Right.
a bit potent and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Two performances come to mind. There was a performance she did on her first solo tour and
Right.
stuff like that too, where she performed this and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Vocally, she did a thing, and then she also did a version with Fleetwood Mac on the Mirage tour and stuff like that too. Mirage, very very dope album in my personal opinion, very underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talk about that one, you know. And
Right.
I feel like with the Mirage tour, that was Fleetwood Mac. That might be one of my favorite Fleetwood Mac tours from what I've seen on
Right.
YouTube and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my number five, Dreams.
My number five is Smith and Wesson Bucktown. I
Ooh,
yes, I saw Smith and Wesson live this past summer at Coney Island, and you know, they played with like a live band, and the band is like playing, you know, the Jack Bruce sample that they used for the song for the record, you know, Born to Be Blue, with the horns and all that. They so
yeah,
when that's playing and then they go into the actual song, it's hit different than when you're hearing it on The Shining, which is actually 28. It was 28 years ago yesterday for that album. So um Smith and Wesson killed it. Like watching them perform it live, they killed it. You know what I'm saying? I like to it's like I like to hear when artists can use a live band, because not everybody uses a live band for their performances, or they might do
right.
it like once for like, you know, a special event like the Grammys or something, and then you never see them again use a live band. But they actually have a live album. They came out with a live album. They had a band with them when they were on tour over in Prague. So that's an actual live album from them that you can hear when they had a tour, a show in Prague or whatever. And even that was dope. And you know how I feel about live albums. But they were great. Like I love that they played the actual sample that they used for the record and then went into the actual record, and they just killed it. Like Tech and Steel is one of the best hip hop duos ever that a lot of people don't mention on their list. It's Mobb Deep and it's this one and that one, but they don't mention Smith and Wesson. But yeah, they were great with that.
Yeah, I definitely got to see a live performance of that track right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
I
I,
saw a
I
lot.
put up the video. I actually put up. Well, I know I put up. I might have put up one or two. I put up the video from the actual show on my page.
Okay,
I think
I gotta check
but
it
I
out.
think it was the one. If it wasn't Bucktown, then it might have been the Soundboy Burial one. But I actually put up video of at the show with them performing.
Okay, dope. I'll check it out definitely.
Yeah.
All right. My number four, Parliament, Mothership Connection, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. You know what I'm saying?
That was good.
Oh, Lord have mercy, man.
Yeah.
I mostly just put this on here every time Glenn does a Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, and then he pretty much does that vocal run and stuff. The performance I'm thinking more about was when they did the Houston performance in 1976, and this was the first time that the mothership actually went down and
Right.
stuff like that. He said, I think I see the mothership coming,
Hmm.
and it was at that performance I had to say he was Nate Dogg before Nate Dogg. Just being real with y'all and
Mm.
stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
George Clinton.
No, no, not Joe. I mean Glenn
Oh.
Goins, the dude who was
Oh.
singing the
Okay.
swing. Like just the way he was singing and stuff like that. You know, I can see Nate doing a lot of influence from him and
Right.
stuff like that. And then, of course, when the climax, when the fucking mothership lands, and then that the horns come in, da 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 da
The
da
smoke coming out of the
da
smoke
da
and all
da.
that. And
Yeah,
my
fire.
mom went to see them. My mom went to see him when she was younger. Used to tell me all about the mothership landing on the stage, and it's a real thing that they have. Like George Clinton still has that shit. It's locked up in
Yeah,
storage. And they really
yeah,
use
man.
that shit like for every show when they on tour, like, and it's coming down from the ceiling of the stage, and it's like smoke coming from it and lights and everything, and it's crazy. Never seen
For
nothing like
real.
that.
Like that performance was what really made me a fan of Parliament Funkadelic.
Yeah, that's dope. I got number 4 is Tony Braxton. When she sang "You're Making Me High," I went to see Tony in
Ooh,
2019. And her tour with SWV was actually on that tour. They opened up for her. Great tour. Tony Braxton looks sexy as fuck in person. Like she doing the videos, like she looked even better in person. She can sing her ass off. And this remember this woman has lupus. I ain't never seen nobody look as good as that with lupus. You know what I'm saying? And she sang every song that she did. Break My Heart and You're Making Me High and Breathe Again. Every song that she did was phenomenal. And it sounded just as good as the record. You know what I'm saying? And when she did You're Making Me High, I was like, yo, this is just as good as the video, if not better. And she had like a white gown on, and she killed it by herself. She ain't had no special guests. I know there was like a lot of people in the crowd that wanted to see Babyface there. I don't know why you want to see Babyface there. You know what I'm saying? But she can hold down a show by herself. She don't need nobody else on that stage with her, and she killed every song that she performed. Man, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the best shows I ever went to. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I have video of that also on my page if you haven't seen it. But yeah, she was when she did "You're Making Me Hot" live. That sounded great.
definitely. All right. Number 3, um, Led Zeppelin, Black Dog. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily picked a lot of Zepp songs. I was very close to putting Dazed and Confused, but to me, I feel like Black Dog. Any performance I've seen of Black Dog, it was always on point.
Mhm.
My favorite performance I've seen was on YouTube was the Earl's Court performance, which a lot of
Right.
people have called one of their best performances in
Mhm.
1975.
Right.
Um, and the way Jimmy Page's guitar was what really set it off and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He had like a very distinctive, distorted kind of this guitar he was playing and stuff too.
Right.
Robert Plant's energy singing that track was always amazing. Um, yeah, man, fucking classics, like a classic track, classic performance too.
Number 3, I gotta go with the King of R&B, R. Kelly, Bump and
Yes,
Grind. I saw this man live in 1994, and he was phenomenal. He sang opera. Ain't too many R&B artists that can sing opera. R. Kelly sang opera. You know what I'm saying? And this is on the 12th Play tour, and he ran through all his hits at that time, Honey Love and Vibe, and Dedication, Your Body's Calling, Sex Me. He did all of those songs, and he sounded phenomenal for each of them. And Bump and Grind, when he did Bump and Grind, I think it was like the last song he did on that tour. That's what people was waiting for. That's what they wanted to see from him, and he killed it. Phenomenal artist. Again, what he did in his personal life, he's paying for now. But what he did for R&B, he's a legend. So definitely R. Kelly have to make this list.
I feel you on that. All right, my number 2, Marvin Gaye, Distant Lover. Um, the live album he did in 1974. Now, granted, the studio version, of course, is a classic. I mean, but I feel like most people remember the live performance because this is the performance like he introduced the Troubleman theme. It
Mm-hmm.
was a Troubleman theme. He always played like that, da 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 da, and every time he performed that, he always followed it up with Distant Lover. Now, I was close to including like the live at the London Palladium
Mm-hmm.
from 1977, which to me, I prefer that live album over the 1974 live Nothing against 1974 live, but
Right.
that London Palladium, he was on another level at that time and stuff too. But the one thing I loved about this performance was the fucking energy and the emotion he had on this, because you got to remember by this time Marvin wasn't really doing like a lot of live performances,
Right.
wasn't really doing like a lot of live performance because he was recovering from Timmy Terrell's death and stuff like that too, you know what I'm saying? But he actually did that stuff too, because he had that contract with Motown, and I think he performed at some Oakland Coliseum, I think. And I love when he got to like the "Come Back, Baby" and stuff like that. When he hit that "Please, Please," and the audience was just going crazy when he did that line and
Right.
stuff like that too. Definitely very classic. For this was almost my number one, but there's one performance I cannot overlook.
No, I never went to a Sade con. I would love to see Sade. If she don't tour a lot anymore, but I would love to see her one day. You know. Number two is gonna be New Edition. Can You Stand the Rain? I went to the All Six tour for New Edition in 2014. It with Joe. Joe was actually opened up for them. He was great. They had women throwing they panties at Joe and all that. New Edition was late, mind you. They were late because they couldn't get the introduction right for them. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow.
But they made up for it. You know what I'm saying? They saved Can You Stand the Rain last because what they do is like they'll come out and they'll do certain songs from a different era in the group. Like if they do stuff from like the Candy Girl era, then Johnny will leave the stage. When they do stuff from Any Heartbreak and that album, Bobby will leave the stage. And then when they do like stuff together, like the home again stuff, Hit Me Off, and You Don't Have to Worry, it's all six, and then they break off into like they solo stuff, and you'll have like Bobby do his stuff, and then Ralph will come on and do his stuff, then BBD. So what they did was toward the end, like BBD will do Poison, and then they'll do Can You Stand the Rain. So when they do Can You Stand the Rain last, they go all out for that. Like they killed it, and it'll be all six of the room. It sounds just as good as the record. You got the crowd singing along with everybody. When Ricky Bell's part comes on, they sing along with Ricky. Same with Johnny, and you know what I'm saying. So same with Mike. When Mike comes in and says, come on, baby, let's go get wet, and they'll say the same thing with Mike. You know what I mean? So that was an epic performance just to see them live and do. They probably their best ballad ever. You know what I'm saying? Their signature song now, and that was great.
Right. Definitely. My number one, James Brown, Please, Please, Please. I'm mostly talking about the Tammy show, but at the same time, any performance he does of this song could also be considered. Now, pretty much a song, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 6 or 7 words and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
and it's always literally like a little over maybe 2 minutes. But the Tammy show performance in 1964, you know what I'm saying? He did that shit for like 6 minutes, in my opinion. And that was the third song he did in this set.
Right.
And that Tammy show performance, I've kind of put that up there with Michael Jackson's Motown 25, Freddie Mercury, I mean, not Freddie, Queen's Live Aid performance, just those seminal performances that just best describes the artist and stuff like that. Anytime I think of James Brown, I just think of that performance and stuff too. And the fact how, you know, he was just going in on that performance. First of all, the band was on point. The Famous Flames on the background vocals and choreography doing their thing and
Right.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And James was just screaming his ass off on that fucking record and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The baby, you did me wrong. Like, I mean, he was just
Yeah.
going in on that fucking
Going in.
record, in my opinion and shit too.
Yeah.
Um, I could have possibly either picked any of the songs he did on the Tammy show, but to me, Please, Please, Please was the climax of that. You know what I'm saying? iconic record.
Now we talked about this uh a day or two ago. That's what made us want to do this. And number one to me is going to be Jay-Z, Heart of the City. I don't really
Ooh,
care for the recorded version, but when he did the unplugged, I actually have the unplugged album. Like again, you know how much I don't like live albums, but
right.
this actual Jay-Z live album is actually good. When this came out, and he had the Roots as the band, and he had Jaguar Wright as the background singer, and he every song he did on here was great, and he did mostly stuff from like Blueprint. He did Can Knock the Hustle. I think Mary was at that performance when MTV showed it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like every yeah, Big Pimpin', he did a Big Pimpin', but every song was basically from the Blueprint. And Heart of the City, for some reason, for me, it sounded better live. When you had
Yes.
when you had Questlove on drums, and you had Jaguar Wright singing, it just sounded soulful. It just sounded more livelier than the recorded version. You know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes when you if you get to see an artist live and they do a certain song, it might not sound the same on the record on the record. It might sound better than the record. Sometimes it might sound worse, but to me, it sounded better live. I've always liked it when he do it live. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like when that came out, they made too much. It got too much hype, and I'm like, it's a good song. It was never one of my favorites, but when he sounds good live though. Even when he did Kanaka Hustle, when Mary came out for that performance, that sounded good live too. And I love the regular joint on Reasonable Doubt, but when he do that shit live with Mary, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And Mary, I've seen Mary 3 times. And like she takes it up a notch every time she performed, whether it's by herself or with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely hear your point about that. All right, what's up, Eric?
That
All
was
right, we
good.
concluded this list, and honestly, I might just have to end this video off right here because I've had a long day. I might just get ready to go to bed and shit like that. But tomorrow we're gonna do actually do 2 videos tomorrow. 8 p.m. is gonna be the Shanti Moore Exposed album from 2001. Ash is gonna join us for that one, and then later on that night, probably like 11:30 midnight, we'll do like a top 10 hip hop albums of 2022. I might just pre-record that one, honestly.
No, do it live. I want to hear this stupid comments tomorrow. Like, oh, why you didn't put this album on the list? And I want to hear it. My
Oh, you want
list
to
is
go live
already
with that
done.
one?
Let's do it
Okay,
live. My
cool.
list my list been done already. So it's been
Okay,
done.
cool.
I already put it up on my stories like last week. So I know what my favorite albums was.
Got you. I gotta do my list tonight. I got a little bit of stuff to do tonight too, before I go to bed or stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Friday at 6 p.m. is gonna be the Spice One double review. Mike is gonna join us for that one and shit. We're gonna talk about his debut album, and then we're gonna talk about 187 he wrote, which that's my favorite Spice album of all time. Really can't wait to talk about that. Sunday is gonna be Mac Miller with the God AM album, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is actually the first Mac Miller I want to actually listen in full. So and I've heard good things about
Starting
this
from that
record.
one, why you should have started with the mixtape first.
Well, with this album, there was a couple of songs that I remember
You like?
listening to a lot
Oh, okay.
and stuff like that. And mind you, originally, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't like the biggest Mac Miller fan and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying?
There will be no Mac Miller shade on Sunday night. You already did
No,
that
no,
the
no,
week
no, no.
before.
I'm not shading Mac Miller. I fuck with Mac Miller, but originally
Okay.
I wasn't like the biggest fan of Mac Miller. I love his talent though,
You know
but
how you do when
I
you say
hate
that.
I hate to say it. I hate to say I actually liked him a bit more. I actually paid attention to his music after he died. I'm not.
Oh
I
man,
have to say it. It's
wow, that's bad.
at least
I
I'm
could have told
honest. At
you
least
what
I'm
to
being
hear. I could
honest
tell
and
you
shit
what
like
to
that
hear.
too. You know.
Listen to Kids. Listen to Best Day Ever, Macadelic, Faces. Do the albums as well. Blue Slide Park classic. Listen to that. Watching movies with the sound off.
Um,
Listen to that. all of those
Gotcha.
albums, the Feminine Divine. Listen to all those albums. Circles,
Okay.
Swimming. I got Swimming. Great album. Each of his projects were great. So you can't miss with Mac Miller.
Okay, no doubt. I'm gonna definitely take your word about that shit. All right. Appreciate this try as usual. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
All right. Peace.